Predator versus Spider-Man? Are you serious? This comic was amazing. The entire run is finally all out. I've been waiting for it to all come out before I actually made a video on it because I didn't want to look stupid. I didn't want to make a video after issue number 1 and be like, this is going to be the best thing ever, for issue number 4 to come out and I was just going to be livid. But thankfully, all 4 issues are out and I can actually say, confidently say, this is the best Peter Parker Spider-Man book of the last 15 years. Maybe there's another mini somewhere that relates back like similarly to this, but this book takes you back to a time when Peter Parker Spider-Man actually mattered. There were actually stakes, and there was actually exactly what we enjoyed. Everything about Spider-Man in the 80s to the early 90s is still here in this book. I mean, even the Predator's here, and that's like the best part about the 80s action movies, right? No, but seriously, this book is freaking phenomenal. If you like Mary Jane and Peter Parker, you're going to love this book. If you like Spider-Man all by himself being the only Spider-Man hero, you're going to love this book. If you like it more grounded and he's still trying to save people while there's other bigger stuff going on, you're going to like this book. Seriously, this book has everything Spider-Man fans have been clamoring for years. And we finally got it in a Spider-Man versus Predator book, or Predator versus Spider-Man. It's just so godlike. From the very beginning of the book all the way to the end of the run, it's phenomenal. It starts off super duper fast paced and it has the usual suspects, right? Peter Parker's there. J. Jonah Jameson is here. Mary Jane is here. The people we want to see in the Spider-Man mythos that matter, they're here pretty much. But the premise of the story is really just so great, you can't ignore it. I'm not sure if any of you guys know much about the Predator lore, so I'll explain a little bit of it because it really does matter for this story. So what the Predators are, or the Yautja, I think that's how you pronounce it, Yautja? Yeah, well, I tried my best. What the Predators are is they are a hunting species. That's exactly what they do. They scour the literal universe to find an alien species that they can find worthy of their hunt. So their entire thing is they're trying to find something to hunt. Picture them akin to Kraven in Insomniac's Spider-Man 2. He's not going around finding random civilians and killing them, or finding random civilians and challenging them to a death battle and killing them. No. What Kraven is doing is he's scouring New York City, or really honestly the entirety of the earth, to find somebody who's worthy enough to hunt him and kill him. So that's exactly how you should look at the Predator, okay? They are an alien race bound by an honor code to not kill innocents. That's completely against their rules. It's completely against what they stand for. They're really in it for the game of the hunt. They're big game hunters, essentially, as an entire species. I love this. I think it's really cool, and it's really awesome to play off of, because this Spider-Man book, Predator vs. Spider-Man, has a Predator that went rogue. This Predator does not care about the honor code. He does not care about what his species thinks of him. He's just on a hunt for anything. And they're calling him Skinner. What he does is he finds people and skins them alive. Spider-Man literally finds the first body and he's like, Jesus Christ, this is gross. But then Spider-Man later finds 4 bodies and he's like, oh, we're dealing with a serial killer, because it's really that scary. You know, like, these people are skinned alive. Like, all their skin is ripped off them, and the Skinner himself, Predator Skinner, is using their face as like a toy. This he's a whack job. But it's awesome, because now you have this super lethal monster on the run or on the hunt for anyone. There's no one who's safe. Usually in a Predator story, you know civilians are safe. They're not going to go for the civilians. But with the Skinner around, it's a totally different ballgame. The stakes are raised completely. In fact, the stakes are raised so high because for a lot of it, he's hunting Mary Jane. Yes, Mary Jane and Peter Parker are together in this story. Thank God, Benjamin Percy. And the story has Mary Jane actually being hunted by the Predator. She's not specifically being hunted. It's not like he's like, I'm gonna go kill this redheaded woman. But he's killing all these people, and she seems to always find herself in the way of the Predator, whether she's in a train and all the electric goes out and the Predator is killing people in the train and she escapes, or if the Predator is hunting her in the sewers and she has to dive into a pit filled with rats so that the rats' thermal heat signatures will cover her. Because if you didn't know, Predators usually only see in heat signatures. When they take off their mask, they see I think they just have horrible vision, if I'm not mistaken. But when they have their mask on, they see heat signatures, so that was how she hid from the Predator, at least at one point in this 4-issue story. So you have Spider-Man, and he's trying to crack this case on who this serial killer is. He doesn't even know it's a Predator, all right? At the same time, though, Kraven shows up. Kraven he's attuned to what's going on. He's like, you know, feel like I want to get involved in this thing. The city faces like a massive power outage, but they're about to turn it back on when Kraven shows up, and he literally stops them. He's like, if you turn this power on, the Avengers are going to come. I'm trying to get my hunt on. So Kraven, like I said earlier, when Kraven Insomniac 2 is a lot like the Predator species, he's even in this book trying to hunt the Predator, which is awesome. The book continues, and you'll find Spider-Man actually fighting against the Predators. Now, these Predators are not like the Skinner. These Predators are based on honor, and they'll hunt somebody or fight somebody only if they are up to standard, up to code. You guys really think Spider-Man isn't up to code? Come on. So Spider-Man is actually fighting the Predator at the same time Mary Jane is trying to run from the Skinner. It's just, oh my God, you're like, oh, my inner sides are being torn apart because I'm so nervous. The story is just so freaking gripping. Like, every single issue has another part of it that's like, oh my goodness, please, Peter, make it alive. Please, Mary Jane, I need you to live. Like, this thought process was constant and prevalent throughout reading the story, and it made it so good because you're on the edge of your seat worrying if your favorite hero or your favorite hero's love interest is going to get killed by the end of the issue. That was also phenomenal about this book. But obviously, what I gotta say is my favorite part about this book is that Peter and Mary Jane are together, and they just love each other so much. I was sleeping on Benjamin Percy's game. This is clearly a mistake on my part. I was not aware of how great of a writer he is. I've read his Ghost Rider, and I actually did enjoy his Ghost Rider run. But the constant renumbering of issues always bothered me, so I kind of stopped reading his Ghost Rider for a bit, and I haven't read much of his other Predator versus issues besides Black Panther. I love Black Panther because I don't have an affinity for these other characters like I do for Spider-Man. I do like Black Panther a lot though, which is why I read that one as well. But this one, Benjamin Percy did his freaking thing. Not only did he write an engaging story involving a predator on the loose who is a mass murderer, and then the other predators are sent to Earth to stop this mass murdering predator. That part's super interesting. But what I do love the most is that Benjamin Percy, he's not just one of those people who hears about One More Day and he's all for it. He's like, yeah, you know, you're right, man. Mary Jane and Spider-Man together, that's just super duper boring. We can't really have that. You can't write interesting stories with Mary Jane and Spider-Man together. We gotta break them up. No, Benjamin Percy did not do that. I gotta give this guy all the credit in the world because I'm so happy he didn't do this. It was such an easy way out. And it's obviously the rest of the Spider Office who were there. I mean, this book wasn't written by the Spider Office. The Spider Office at Marvel would have been happier had he just had Mary Jane not in the story. But he went the opposite route. Mary Jane is constantly in the story. She's constantly involved in the story. It's not like she's just on the sideline. She's literally being hunted by the Predator. And at the end of the story, you get the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment, right? I don't want to spoil too much of this story, but I am going to say what happens there. But that's why I'm trying to leave out a lot of the details because I want you all to pick up this book and read it. When it comes out on trade paperback, I guarantee you I'll be buying it. And I might even buy an extra one so I can have a sweepstakes and raffle it off to like one of my viewers, anybody who comments on this video. We'll talk about that more when I buy it though later down the line. But like I was saying, at the end of it all, the one Predator is about to explode New York City with a self-destruct bomb after he loses a fight. Spider-Man shows up to the scene and Kraven is there and Spider-Man's like, cut his arm off now. Kraven obviously obliges because, the city's about to blow up if it's not for these two trying to save the day right now, and they both would die. Kraven obliges, cuts off the arm, and Spider-Man grabs it and swings away as fast as he possibly can. This bomb is big enough to literally level all of New York City. Spider-Man is swinging as far as he can to try and get the bomb clear of New York City when Mary Jane sees him and she starts chasing after him, and she's literally cheering him on. She's like, Spider-Man, please. And she's even like, I need you. Please don't die. It's really honestly moving, at least to me. I'm getting chills just talking about it. And the bomb goes off in Spider-Man's presence. Everybody thinks Spider-Man's dead. Kraven's like, oh, wow, what a warrior. And then the Predators and Kraven have a moment together. But more importantly, what I was wanting to focus on was Mary Jane and Spider-Man. Mary Jane, obviously, like I said, she was running after him. She stops at the waterfront and she's crying on the fence like, no, not my love, not my mans. But Spider-Man's really alive. He's like, I'm right here. I'm alive. You ain't got to worry. You ain't got to cry. And Mary Jane's elated. The two of them get together and you just have the beautiful happy ending. I just feel like it's been so long since I've read a Spider-Man comic and I had that beautiful, happy ending. Spider-Man and Mary Jane ending up together. I love it. How come that doesn't happen more? It's what I grew up with. It's what we all want, right? That's what the majority of the fan base wants, is Spider-Man and Mary Jane together. We never, ever get happy endings. Even in adaptations where there is an ending, how often is the ending Spider-Man and Mary Jane together? Thank you, Insomniac 2. You got that right. I'll give it to you. 2017 Spider-Man, you also got that right. I'll give it to you. But a vast majority of Spider-Man adaptations, got canceled before they were supposed to end, or they just didn't end with Spider-Man and Mary Jane together, which makes no sense to me. If Spider-Man and Mary Jane can't be together for your story, at least have them be the end goal. You don't have to write anymore after that. If you don't like Mary Jane, then just write it like that. Instead, a lot of writers just choose to not include her at all, when she's really just like Spider-Man's most important and best significant other. She should be there. So, all in all, I gotta give credit. Again, I don't want to spoil too much about the book, which is why I was trying to leave out a lot of like little details that I think you guys will like if you check it out. But this book is a phenomenal book. 10 out of 10. If you like 90s or 80s Spider-Man, you're gonna love this book, and I can't recommend it enough. You should totally pick up this book because Percy did his thing. The entire team behind this book did their thing. And I'm just so impressed, man. Like I said, I gotta buy the trade paperback when it drops. If you have read this book, I need you all to comment down below and let me know your thoughts. I want to know what you guys think of Predator versus Spider-Man. To me, it was phenomenal, but I would like to know what y'all think. Now, I don't think I have really anything else left to say. I really just wanted to do a video talking about Predator versus Spider-Man because I thought it was such a great comic. Yeah, I think that's it for me. So check out my Discord down below in my description. I got my Patreon down below in my description. And yeah, I think that's it. Dunk out. Peace.